Hi, this is Brian Wallace from CLA, the Laundry Association, and just wanted to reach out to our New York State members and friends of the association to provide a legislative and advocacy update on some things that we've been working on over the last few months. Let's start with the issue at hand, which is the microfiber filtration mandates that have been popping up around the country, including right here in New York. And going back to October of last year, CLA actually stepped up and engaged a lobbying firm to help us try to stop this legislation, or at least amend this legislation as it's currently stated. And now that we're into January of 26, legislature's coming back in and we're ramping up our efforts. So a little bit of quick background. These are pieces of model legislation that would require each and every washing machine sold into the state to have its own onboard microfiber filtration system down to 100 microns to filter out microfiber and microplastic pollution in the wastewater. And we've had some success here at CLA amending that legislation in our favor in both California and Illinois. And now that we find ourselves on the defense here in New York, we're working very hard to not only amend or stop the legislation, but also really try to help set a precedent that might be able to help us in some other states going forward. But I'm sure you're most interested in finding some relief in New York. So what we've been able to do in some of the prior states is specifically get commercial washers, or those being used in the laundromat setting, specifically exempt from this requirement. So our concerns, of course, are this technology doesn't exist right now. If it did, where would it fit? Whether it be on the machine or in the bulkhead. The legislation also requires things like consumers having access to clean the filters, and of course that's not safe or practical for us in the laundromat environment. So we've got a whole list of things, let alone the cost to you, potentially the cost to your end customers, longer fill times and cycle times if there were to be such a filter on board. So for a lot of reasons, it really just doesn't fit for us. And we've been trying to lean into sort of the educational approach, saying, look, we don't think this legislation is really intended for the laundromat setting, but the way that it's currently written in the model language would impact our industry. So we are a number of months into the process of lobbying on the issue. And just today took a meeting with legislative staff in the Assembly to again, kind of explain our position and advocate for making changes. So, and I think now's a good time to engage our members in the field and not only provide this update, but also look to see if we can't work together to ensure a real positive outcome on all of this. So we'll provide some links here in the video, but the bills at hand are Assembly Bill 4716 and Senate Bill 5605, and again, it's being known as the Washing Machine Microfiber Filtration Act. So again, that's not good news for us. The bill sponsors are Dr. Anna Kellis in the Assembly. She's in District 125. That is described as sort of Ithaca to Cortland, for those of you that are in that neck of the woods in District 125. On the Senate side, the sponsor is Brian Kavanagh. That's Senate District 27, which is essentially Lower Manhattan, West Village, East Village, Soho, and the Financial District. And so one of my calls to action here is that if you reside or own a laundromat in either of those two districts, would you drop me a line? Brian at laundryassociation.org, Brian at laundryassociation.org. What I'd like to start to do is kind of compile a bit of a roster of those of you that might be in a position to weigh in when the time is right as we go through this process. And certainly if you know anyone that is in that position, again, please pass along this video so they can be informed as well. A little bit more of a specific ask is looking ahead. If any of you are located in Albany or know of kind of a showcase laundromat in Albany, again, please reach out to me and let me know that, because there could be the possibility of an in-store visit coming up later in the session. We did this in California, and it was very effective to walk a legislator through our environment and kind of show how this per washer filtration requirement is just simply not a great fit. So if you could help me on those couple of things, I'd really appreciate it. Not asking you to reach out to your legislators at this point. I'd rather kind of take the educational friendly approach for now, and then if we need to turn toward something more aggressive, we can sort of keep that in our pocket. But I want to continue to update you through these videos in the weeks to come. And also, if you have friends, colleagues, competitors in the industry, feel free to forward this video to them. Don't assume that they're on our mailing list. We think we've got most everybody, but the fact of the matter is I'm sure we're missing some folks. So if you could keep an eye out if you're in either of those districts, Senate District 27 or Assembly District 125. If you're in Albany or know of somebody with a great store in Albany, I'd love to hear about that. And just be on the lookout for further updates from us. I'm also going to provide a link to a white paper that we've put together that summarizes some of our opposition and some of our arguments around this issue. And just want to make sure that we continue to work together. Again, zooming back out, this is what we're here for as an association. This is why we're here to work together. When there's an adverse piece of legislation that would require you to only purchase washers in the future that had its own microfiber filtration system, then have to maintain those filters on a day-to-day basis, that's obviously something we want to stop by working together. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I can be found again at brian@laundryassociation.org, or if you just want to give me a call, I'm at 630-235-0641. In the meantime, I'm going to be reaching out to some of you proactively, some of our friends of the association, and enlist your support as well. But appreciate your help as we go after New York and the Washing Machine Filtration Act, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Audio Jungle.